Hello everyone, and welcome back to Voxel Tales. My name is Dan, and between episodes I've schematic cannoned yet another house into existence. In fact, there's almost as many houses here now as there were before I knocked the old ones down. So it really shouldn't be long before we can start enticing some villagers back to Podnik, and we can make this place feel like a proper village again. For this episode though, I want to have a stab at making myself a couple of new tools. But in order to do that, I need to sort out a little supply issue I've noticed. You see, I currently have precisely 0 netherite ingots and I think 2 bits of netherite scrap. Neither of which is enough to make any kind of netherite tool, which means we're going to have to go to the nether. So I'm hoping that getting our hands on some ancient debris won't be too much of an issue. I should just be able to deploy the chunk eater a few times down in the nether wastes, and from what I've read there's an average of 1.65 pieces of debris in every chunk. The chunk eater extends out 64 blocks, which is 4 chunks, so all being well we should get around 6 pieces per run. Of course, what we should get and what we actually get could be totally different things. I mean, we might get more. But the way these things usually go is that I end up stuck in hell for hours, getting more and more frustrated as time goes on. Foreshadowing. Anyway, let me grab a lever and we'll go get this set up. Okay, now I just have to find the hole leading into the depths. If I remember, it should be around here somewhere. Ow! Where is it? Haha, there you are, sneaky hole. Okay, just have to pick a spot in this death trap and start digging. And I think here should do us just nicely. Well, not a great start there, old boy. You're facing the wrong way. Okay, whoa there, big fella. Calm down. Yeah, let's pretend that wasn't even a thing. Eventually, though, I got the machine facing the right direction and munching its way through the nether landscape. Managed to even get a couple of good runs out of it before something broke. Alright, Ashy boy, let's go smelt up some ancient debris and see where we're at. Probably not going to be anywhere near where we need to be, mind. Right, don't wander off, I'll be back in a minute. Yeet. Alright, 10 netherite scrap, plus the 2 I've already got. Wow, 3 whole ingots. Well, that's not going to be enough. Allow me to explain. See, I want to make one of these. And as you can see, it needs 1 of each netherite tool. Which means unless I want to settle for the diamond version, I at least need to make a netherite pickaxe, sword, and hoe, because I don't have them. Not to mention one of the upgrade modules I've seen for it, which also needs netherite. So long story short, I need more netherite. Which means I better get my finger out and get the chunk eater repaired. Alright, so I got it fixed, and as you can see from the size of our hellhole, I spent quite a while running it. In fact, there's that much lava all over the place down here that there's not many spots that I can even set the machine up anymore. Luckily for you, I did all that off camera. And luckily for me, I now have enough resources to move on with today's little project. So let's say I head back to the overworld and we crack on. Alright, we're back. And as you can see, after all that chunk eating, we had enough scrap to make 10 more ingots, and I used the initial 3 to make the pick, sword, and hoe we needed. So now there's nothing stopping me from making one of those Paxel things and only needing to carry around 1 tool. Give to me. Right, let's go test out our new toy. Theoretically, we should be able to mine any block at regular speed without swapping tools. We'll try dirt first. Oh. Okay, so it's working, we're just having a render bug again. Yeah, okay, it's working, so it's fine. Right, moving on to wood. Again, looks like it's working. Oh yeah, just needed a sec to get its act together. Beautiful. And it works properly on stone as well. Good. Now, I mentioned there are upgrades for this thing. They go in these slots here, look. And there's one that will come in very handy. This unbreakability upgrade. Not just unbreaking, no, unbreakable. And as you can see, I've got everything I need to craft it except for another star, which means I need to go kill another wither. But do I have the skulls? I've got 4 wither heads, but more importantly, 3 wither skeleton skulls. Looks like we're in business. So after grabbing a bit of soul sand, I headed to the grind cavern to face off with the wither once again. Alright, big guy, let's make this quick. I've got places to be, things to do. And you're dead. Now why'd you drop the nether star? There it is. Yep. Once the wither effect wore off, I immediately crafted the upgrade. We'll have that. Bosh it onto there. And now our Paxel should never use any durability. Yep, fantastic. Buoyed by my success, I headed back to the basement to enchant the Paxel. Oh, that's where that pair of diving boots went. I thought I was going mad. Anyway, I don't have enough levels to enchant the Paxel, but I might have enough to apply the enchantments I ground off the axe before I used it. No, of course not. I have 8 and I need 9. Back to the grind cavern. Right, should we try this again? You know, thinking on, this thing can't break, so it really only needs efficiency off this book. So have I got an efficiency 4 book already? Doesn't look like it, does it? Okay, plan B. Plan B was to use the grindstone to separate the enchantments in the book. And having done so, apply just efficiency 4 to the Paxel. That way I still had a mending book and an unbreaking book for something else that may need it down the road. More foreshadowing. Okay, the next stage of the plan is to make up as many of these upgrade modules as we can, which should be most of them, to be fair. Okay, that's all of them besides the silence upgrade, which needs skulk, and I've never been to an ancient city. So I say we go test some of these out somewhere we can make a mess. It's the grind cavern. Of course it's the grind cavern. Precisely nobody cares if I make a mess down here. Do you care if I make a mess down here? I don't. Right, I think we can guess what 3x3 does, but we might be surprised. Oh, well, I wasn't expecting that, so well played. Do you need turning on or something? Oh, I figured it out. It's the right mouse button. And yeah, it does exactly what you thought it did. Pretty fast too. Okay, moving on. Okay, next up we have the tunnel ability. Let's see what that does. Oh, okay. It makes a 1 wide, 3 tall, and it goes back a fair ways with it. Neat. And then we have the hole module, and I think we can all guess what that does as well. Yep, it makes a fairly deep 1 block hole. Good. Right, let's try these orange ones next. Auto smelt and vacuum. Seems pretty straightforward. As you may have surmised, vacuum sucks up any blocks you broke directly into your inventory. An auto smelt smelts any blocks you break, so if you break deep slate, you pick up deep slate and not cobbled deep slate. All very useful. Back up on the surface, I tested the 3 other upgrades, which offered the hose tilling, the shovel's path laying, and the axe's wood stripping functionality, respectively. Well, I think we can safely say all those work. So I think I should get this mess I just made tidied up and we can move on. Okay, I'm back after a cheeky tea break. And before we go any further, can we all just appreciate this view for a sec? Like, once I get some foliage in here and some people wandering around again, we could sell prints of this view. Anyway, that's enough daydreaming on my part. We should probably address these shadows. So, it's no secret that I've had issues with my aging PC and shaders, and for a while now I've had to turn off dynamic shadows to get a decent frame rate. But I upgraded the graphics card recently, so I thought, why not? Let's try turning them back on, and so far we seem to be doing okay with them. How long that's going to last is anyone's guess, but for now at least we have slightly prettier visuals. And everybody likes prettier visuals, right? What am I saying? It's 2024. There's no doubt people out there who hate prettier visuals. Heck, I could make as many tweaks and put in as much effort into this show as humanly possible, and there'd still be people out there who just hate everything I do. Well, you know what? Screw them. Can't please everyone. Anyway, next up today, I want to try making one of these building ones I spotted while I was doom-scrolling the item index. They all seem pretty cheap to make, too. I guess the netherite one needs to be made in the smithing table, so I'll just make a diamond one to play about with for now. That's not a building wand. Come on, game, work with me here. It's fine. There's got to be a crafting table around here somewhere. Actually, what am I on about? I've got to have one in storage, surely. And by 1, I mean 61, apparently. There we go, building wand. Thank you, polymorph. Right, I'm going to experiment a bit and I'll catch you in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and I need to make one of these pallets so I can show you a thing. Now if I get some of the paving blocks... and then go into the pallet we just made and set it to use those blocks... Look at this! It'll randomly lay the blocks for us. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Better be more careful where I'm clicking. Right, let's try that again with less sucking this time. Alright. Yeah, it's not bad actually. Should save time while I'm laying the streets anyway. Let's do a bit of road while we're at it. Satisfied the construction wand was a worthwhile investment, I headed back to the shed to make sure it didn't end up getting broken anytime soon. Hey, look at that, a book with unbreaking and mending on it. Thought it might come in handy. Beautiful. It's like the boy plans these things. Okay, suppose I'll stash this in the old backpack and we'll call it a night. The next morning I went back to the town square, having decided that I was fed up of looking at the disconnected wood farm and the ugly patch of podzol. So I spent the next little while tearing out the wood chopper and digging that podzol out. Then our new building wand came in very handy for filling that area back in again. Alright, that's that done. Of course this windmill's gonna need to move sooner or later. But not today. Today, I have other plans. The last thing I want to do today takes us all the way back to episode 3. Hands up who remembers this.
Well, here it is, adventurer, Mallory Pond.
Not much of a pond, is it?
It was quite pretty once, but something shifted underground and caused it to drain into the caves below.
So yeah, Tom said this place was quite nice once upon a time, and as a gesture of goodwill, I want to restore it to its former... Well, I'm not going to say glory, it was a pond, not a 17th century chateau. But you know, it'd be nice if people could fish in it again and stuff. So yeah, I've smelted up a bunch of stone, and I'm going to use my new building wand to plug up these holes and generally tidy the whole thing up. But that also sounds incredibly boring to watch, so I'm just going to do it and I'll catch you on the other side. Back in a tick. And that is that. What do we reckon? Much cleaner, I'd say. Much less patchy. And most importantly, much more watertight. Now all I need to do is fill it with water. This looks like a job for... pipes and pumps and that, probably. Yeah, I made that sound way more exciting than I should have. Sorry. Not gonna have enough shifts. And I know I don't have any andesite to make more alloy. But that's okay, I know a place. I can just steal it right off this belt. And there we go. Now where was I? Okay, we appear to be pumping. He said expectantly. You are pumping, right? Oh, come on, you're never that slow. Okay, this situation calls for more power! Okay, now we're cooking. Hoyas! Now we're pumping. Right, I think this could make a very satisfying time-lapse. Okay, it's still making filling noises, but it's stopped actually filling. Stop being weird! So it turns out that Create had some kind of fill limit imposed that I wasn't aware of. And after turning that off... Hey! Now we're filling again. Alright, well, I guess I'll just let it finish now. Well guys, there it is. I'm happy and maybe a little bit proud to say that for the first time in who knows how long, Mallory Pond is a pond once again. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, then help the channel grow by subscribing and leaving us a cheeky like and a comment below. I've been Dan, this has been Voxel Tales, and until next time remember, be good, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. Bye guys.